So hello guys, this is AJ
and 80
and we are here again with a brand new video about the topic
Chernobyl nuclear disaster. First of all, we will like to apologize for the delay.
and thanks for the love you showed in our first video.
So let's begin. So Chernobyl is located in Ukraine, then part of the Soviet Union. This Chernobyl power plant had 4 latest technology nuclear reactors. But hey, new is the better, right? Well, no. The first 2 were constructed in 1977 and 1978, third in 1981 and fourth in 1983. Reactor 4 was the newest.
It was a RBMK 1000 reactor. Everything was going fine, but firstly you need to understand the concept. In case of a shutdown, the cooling water was still needed to keep the reactors cool. The pump that pumped the water worked on the electricity from the power plant, so they will also shut down.
To handle such situations, there were diesel generators, but to start, they took at least 1 minute. So what will supply the power for that first critical minute? There was a simple answer. The turbines driven from the nuclear power plant were not going to shut down immediately.
They could supply power for more than 1 minute, right? But how do you know? To check this, a test was scheduled on 26th April 1986. For this, the power has to be brought down to 700 megawatts. The normal operating power of the plant was about 3200 megawatts.
So according to safety protocols, the power had to be brought down from the evening gradually. So by the 11 o'clock, the power would have reached a very low level, fit for conducting the test. But here was the first mistake. The power plant's power was not allowed to be lowered until late in that evening.
In our previous video, we told you about the neutron moderators. These moderators are basically graphite or heavy water, D2O. The normal water can also act as a very weak moderator. Basically, the atoms of these materials become an obstacle in the path of neutrons and slow them down to convert them into thermal neutrons with a much higher chance of hitting uranium-235 and causing fission.
This reduced the time and money required. If there were no moderators, you will have to enrich your uranium to high level. But the space between the molecules was a very critical matter. As you know, the space between the particles increases with the temperature. This means that there are lesser neutrons converted to thermal neutrons.
This is called positive void coefficient. There is also a material which has a very high capture rate, that is xenon-135. It is also referred to as neutron poison. Xenon-135 robs of neutron necessary for the fission, thus slowing the reaction speed. In previous video, we told you about the xenon-135 emerges as a direct result of the reaction but not instantly.
It appears from decaying of iodine-135, which has a half-life of about 6.6 hours. So xenon-135 emerges nearly after 6.6 hours. When xenon-135 accumulates in the reactor, 2 things can happen to it. First, if the reactor is working, then it will burn by absorbing 1 neutron and become xenon-136, which is a very stable substance.
Second, if the reactor is idle, then it will decay into cesium-135 after 9.2 hours. Note that I told you that xenon-135 appears 6.6 hours after the reaction. So even if the power is turned on, the xenon-135 will continue to be produced on the same rate which the reactor was working 6.6 hours back.
To this, the control rods were adjusted so that the fission rate was balanced. In the Chernobyl power plant, the moderator was a graphite and absorber in control rods was the boron. So considering all these points, let's begin. So the power in the plant was lowered very quickly at about 10 past 11.
But after some time, the shift changed, and in between this, no one actually looked at the condition of the reactor. The power dropped drastically to only 30 to 40 megawatts. Now, every single thing in the reactor was now trying to choke the reaction. The control rods were still collecting neutrons, and few which were left were absorbed by the xenon-135.
Here is where the second grave mistake was made. Instead of shutting down the reactor, they removed all the control rods because of being under pressure from the officials. After some time, the power began to rise and reached enough level to conduct the test. So the preparation for the test began. and again no one actually seemed to think about the rising power.
The Xenon 135 in the reactor was now burning very fast and control rods were not there to stop it. The power began to rise rapidly as there was nothing to stop the reaction. Now, remember I told you about the positive void coefficient. The water was a weak moderator. It also boosted up the reactant. After some minutes, the power was not rising. No, but it was multiplying at a very high rate.
The power plant had to be stopped. The question was how. There were 6 different emergency shutdown buttons. Every one of them had a different function. One of them was AZ5 button. It lowered the boron control rods as soon as possible. But here comes in the design flaw. At the end of every boron rod, there was graphite.
Now when the graphite tip entered in the reactor, there was nothing to stop the reaction now, but everything to boost it up. This led to a power surge and massive explosion in reactor number 4, which completely blown up the 1,000-ton concrete roof to about 10 meters high.
Chernobyl nuclear disaster was the worst nuclear disaster in the human history. It is one among the only 2 disasters to be ranked level 7 in UN disaster scale. And the other one was Fukushima nuclear disaster. We will try to cover Fukushima in our upcoming videos. But the chapter of Chernobyl nuclear disaster isn't over yet. We will discuss its destructions and other horrors that it revealed.
So stay tuned, and again our apologies for the delay in video. Believe us, it was a very tough time for us. Next video will be posted very soon, and if you haven't watched our first video, watch it now. So like, share and subscribe our channel.